This advertisement is about Google, a search engine, a large one at that, and their new virtual assistant called Google Assistant, similar to Alexa to Amazon or Siri to Apple.
Hey Google, show me photos of me and Loretta. Remember, Loretta hated my mustache. Remember, Loretta loved going to Alaska and scallops. Show me photos from our anniversary. Remember, she always snorted when she laughed. Play our favorite movie. Remember, I'm the luckiest man in the world. Come on, boy.
The target audience for this advertisement is people watching the Super Bowl, people who have grandparents or parents who need help, or they themselves who need help at home. Through the main target audience being families with people that need help, it's creating a message that Google can be incorporated in your life, not just as a virtual assistant, but a key part of your life. As such, in this commercial, where the Google Assistant helps the man remember memories about his wife so he wouldn't lose them. It is a mainly pathos driven advertisement that ran during the Super Bowl. It can be seen in many of the YouTube compilations of the best Super Bowl commercials of that year. An advertisement that really drives for the empathy in their audience. It makes you remember the person that might have been in a similar situation, such as an older family member that has been struck with Alzheimer's. It connects the memory of that person with their product. Thus, if you ever decide to get a virtual assistant, you already have a strong emotional memory attached to the Google product. The slow instrumentals in the back set up the slightly sad tone of the commercial to further drive the point of empathy. In this opening scene, you can see the Google search bar, a site which most people have seen at least once. It gives credit to Google's notoriety. The instrumental music starts up in the background with an upbeat tone and a steady beat. The search results appear for How to Not Forget, and easily recognizable sites show up such as WikiHow, and the ever infinite sites that start with top 7 tips to do whatever or some other number. It's the usual articles that try and hook you in to see that set number of tips on a certain topic. This begetting scene is basically an advertisement for their already existing product. It creates that spark of recognition in the viewers. It appeals to everyone who uses Google, since it creates a curiosity of why are they advertising the already existing search engine. It's an efficient hook that appeals to ethos due to their notoriety and credibility as a popular search engine.
Hey Google, show me photos of me and Loretta. Remember, Loretta hated my mustache.
Here, they provide a presentation for what their product can do. They differentiate themselves from other virtual assistants with this new feature where you can have the assistant remember certain things for you and bring up some of your personal memories, such as photos. They do it in a way that allows you to empathize with this man, as you can tell he's an older gentleman that seems to have trouble remembering things, maybe Alzheimer's, which has sadly struck a lot of families with grief. Instead of focusing on the man losing his memories of family, friends, and eventually himself, they choose to focus on him giving himself reminders through the Google Assistant about his wife, Loretta, such as a reminder that she didn't like his mustache.
Remember, Loretta loved going to Alaska and scallops. Show me photos from our anniversary. Remember, she always snorted when she laughed. Play our favorite movie.
You can see the older gentleman using both Google and the Google Assistant, working together to show their functionality and how they integrated with each other easily. The man shows what kind of person his wife was, and all the memories that he wants to keep remembering of her, such as Loretta loved going to Alaska, and she especially liked scallops, their anniversary photos, the fact that they are married. She snorted when she laughed. Their favorite movie was Casablanca, and etc. This specific Casablanca scene they used was a strong, emotional scene, with a woman with tears in her eyes gazing up into the man's eyes. That further generates the audience's emotional connection to this advertisement and connects to the story of this man reliving the memories of his wife, whom he loved. Through using Google to remember little facts about Loretta, it helps build up who she was in his memory, and hopefully keep a part of her with him throughout his lifetime. It really appeals to your emotions as you see Loretta and him together, smiling and being happy in their anniversary photos and travel photos.
Remember, I'm the luckiest man in the world.
Here is the somber realization. If you hadn't noticed already, whenever you spoke about Loretta, you spoke in the past tense, and this scene confirms it, as he told Google to remember her last words to him before she passed. It makes everything he talked about begin to piece together, as he wants to remember everything about her, since she is no longer there to remind him herself. It is a truly somber realization and really tugs on the heartstrings of the audience, as it brings up a feeling of missing a certain someone in your life that may have passed or you simply grew disconnected to.
Come on, boy.
Through closing it the way they did, with the audio of the man continuing on with his day, it shows that Google Assistant is not just a product. It can be an integral or necessary part of your life, like it was for this man, who uses it to remember his wife, Loretta, who has passed. It also wraps up the story of the advertisement, showing the man is not shut down in the walls of grief. He is taking Loretta's advice to, quote, get out of the dang house, end quote, and to not miss her too much. Also, the ending text, quote, a little help with the little things, end quote, shows Google being modest, since very obviously, to this man, Loretta was a big part of his life, and Google is helping him remember her. It builds up Google's reputation even more, and leaves the audience with a smile on their face. And it leaves behind the best thing a company can leave to get you to buy the product. If you are ever thinking about buying a virtual assistant of any kind, you will remember the Google Assistant because of the emotional connection it left behind through the strong use of pathos and the intriguing storyline it had in the advertisement. It also didn't hurt that Google reached millions through putting out this ad during the Super Bowl, a big football event in the US where millions of citizens are hooked to their TVs, awaiting the big game and, of course, the infamous ads. Overall, Google did a wonderful job with this advertisement. It used the three main uses of rhetoric: ethos, pathos, and logos. Ethos, through Google's notoriety and the millions of users it has who use it on the daily basis. Pathos, in the heartwarming story that is told through this man and remembering his wife Loretta. And lastly, logos, through the advertisements showing up the specific uses of their product, the Google Assistant. Thank you for listening.